So I had to make a decision on my Mezco figures, and the decision I made was I was going to start using the bases. And the reason I was doing that, the reason I started using the bases, because I'm not a fan of using braces or bases or whatever, is because then it, particularly with the the size of it, it forces you to give them more distance. And the problem was, of all my figures, these figures fall down by far the most. And I have never seen any damage to them. They're very light. They're plastic and rubber, so they shouldn't damage, but I could imagine it falling face forward and maybe denting the nose or something like that. So I decided to say the heck with it. I was tired of picking up my Mezco figures, so I'm going with the base. Basically, the stands, they each have a peg there, and then the figures, I'll show, like Mr. Freeze here, has a hole in the bottom, and then you peg them in. It works fairly well. Some of them were a little tight, some were a little loose. It wasn't the greatest. They also have another brace that you could use if they're flying, but I did not try any of them. I don't like the idea of using anything that's going to grip the figure, because I'm sure that over time it could cause problems. So the one thing, and then these are not all my Mezco figures. These are not even all my DC Mezco figures. And there's G.I. Joe in there. The first of my collection of G.I. Joe, and it's not, I'm just waiting for the others to come out. There's about 4 more that I've pre-ordered. So the one thing you can notice is I have a lot of Batman figures. And it's not because I'm the world's biggest Batman fan. It's just they keep making Batman figures. And I'm like, oh, gotta get that one. Gotta get that one. There's my Batman 1989. The front 3 were like a trio showing his, although they're out of order. This is like 1940s, I don't know, 1980s, and then modern day or something like that. There's another 1940s, it was supposed to look like Dick Sprang. This figure, of all the figures, this is probably the one I regret the most, because it's basically just a color swap of this figure, which was a 2-pack with Batman and Two-Face. Which maybe I should put the two of them next to each other. So I was kind of grouping them. We have Batman in there. This is the Batman from the movie, Justice League. And so I was kind of grouping them, and then I put my Superman figures together. We have the Christopher Reeve Superman, and then just kind of the comic book Superman. And then there's Aquaman just sitting back there. So, yeah, I decided. And so I had to go through all my boxes. I haven't done them all yet, so I still have some figures just kind of laying around down here. And I'm not going to be able to fit any more on this shelf. I'm going to have to use another shelf. But I had to go through all my boxes and then pull out the stands. So the one thing I did notice as I was going through was that Mezco has reduced the size of boxes. So I am very appreciative. Even though the figures are the same size, they have, so maybe other people were complaining other than myself, because I definitely was getting tired of the size of those boxes. So anyway, this is part of my Mezco collection now on stands, because I was just tired of them falling over.